Good evening. Going for my afternoon walk here. I'm Dave, the Viking fashion influencer. Okay, maybe not that yet. But I'd like to take you guys on the walk with me. The walk. As I try to get into better shape and eat healthy. And stay out of my pity party that I was in for 5 years after my accident. So today I wanted to talk about the 3 easiest ways. Well, if you want to lose weight, I found pretty much the secret to weight. Because as somebody, I forgot who put it, I think it was Ben Azadi, the keto camp guy. You don't have a weight problem. You have a weight symptom, and he's right. So the easiest way to lose weight, I'm going to give you 3 tips. And doing these 3 things are actually super easy. And by doing these things, you will shed the pounds. You should shed the pounds. Now, they are extremely easy, but yet they're hard to start. And I lost over 55 pounds. I started at 242. I'm now 185. And it's pretty much the end of October 21st until now. This is like the 2nd of May, I believe. 3 things that you need to do. We're going to start with the hardest, but it is actually the easiest, depending on your mindset and what you look at it. Now, I went on the carnivore diet. Now, about a week before I started the carnivore diet, I started eliminating the parts of the SAD diet, the standard American diet. I eliminated all seed oils because they're in everything. Canola oil, vegetable oil, all those seed oils, they're horrible for you. And I cut out all cereals and bread, oats, oatmeal, none of that garbage. Bread, rice, that's garbage too. None of that stuff. I eliminated that. Then I eliminated all sugars. I stopped putting sugar in my coffee and using sugars for anything else, and avoiding food that has all this high fructose corn syrup and all these other, the other dextrose and other names that they have for it. So I started that about a week to 2 weeks before I started carnivore. And I did that to eliminate what they call the keto flu. Because when your body is used to burning and eating carbs, and you have these insulin spikes, your body doesn't know what to do when suddenly those are gone. So I eliminated those things first and kind of went on like a keto or Mediterranean diet. Then I went on carnivore. It takes only about a week to 2 weeks, maybe a month, depending on who you are and the level of carbs that you're taking in or that you eliminated. And then your body gets what they call fat adapted. That's where you're burning your body fat. I started off, I was like 36 or 37. I was probably pushing more than 40 from what I know now, from what I got. I thought I was recently, to give you an idea, I was probably above 40% body fat. Because I was thinking, I took this Navy method to measure that 36-37% body fat. So what I see from the SCQ, or it's almost like a scan that I did, it says that I'm at 26% now. I don't know if you can see that. I thought I was like 19-20. So the Navy method was off, and they're all not that accurate, but the scan is a little bit more accurate, similar to a DECA scan. So I did that, and it said I was at 26. So I imagine when I started, I was at probably over 40% body fat. So then I went carnivore. Now, they say carnivore is the most restrictive diet out there. It's not. Carnivore is the easiest diet out there. And let me explain that and qualify that statement. Once you've eliminated the carbs out of your diet, the breads, the cereals, the sugars, and all this artificial stuff from these super processed foods, and your body gets fat adapted by going on carnivore, where you don't need carbs. Any of these fitness gurus and bodybuilders say, oh, you need carbs and stuff. You really don't. It's been proven that you don't. That's old data. Even before you look at like the carb push on social medias and these fitness gurus, Arnold and all the old time bodybuilders, how did they bulk up? By eating steak and eggs. So get on carnivore, and it's the easiest diet. You know why it's easy? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think, oh, what am I going to cook tonight? What am I going to do this? You know, what am I going to prep on this? All you have to do is eat animal meats. You eat your beef. You can get all beef patties, and it's cheaper. I spend less money doing this than I do by buying all the junk food and super processed food that we used to buy, because you can buy chuck roast at 2 pounds of a chuck roast or 3 pounds at a chuck roast between $12 and $18. You cut it up, and you can make 5 or 6 at least 10-ounce to 12-ounce steaks out of, and that's, so you do the math on that. That's basically like $5 a steak. You buy a box of 32 all beef, no additives, no things, just 100% beef patties at Walmart for $28. So $28.95, so $30, and you get 32 patties. All right, so just under a buck a patty. And all you do is you cook the steaks like about a minute or two, well, about 2 minutes on each side on medium high, and so that it's rare on the inside or pink until you get used to it. Once you eat it pink a few times, then you start and then try rare. It'll get better and better. It'll taste incredible. And then you supplement it with the beef patties. There's all kinds of other simple recipes that you can do for eggs and things like that. I keep it really simple. It's like I said, for me, it's the easiest because I never like cooking. Most of you guys admit it. You guys, most of the people today don't like cooking. If you do like cooking, then get adventurous with the carnivore diet and things like that. There's a lot of people out there that have different meal plans and meal prepping on the carnivore diet. I keep it real simple. I make my scrambled eggs. I put some pepper in it, and I put some garlic powder, and I know that's not real carnivore, so I'm not 100% purist, but those are the only like seasons that I use. Garlic powder, pepper, ground pepper, that I grind with the grinder thing, whatever, and sea salt like Redmond's, not the regular iodized salt, because that's got dextrose in it, and it's got an anti-coagulating, I can't say that, but I can say, hey, hit that like button, and hit subscribe if I can speak, and comment. Ow, got a couple of ants on me. So that's why it's the easiest diet in the world, because you can eat beef, pork, chicken. Chicken is actually the highest protein per ounce, and then beef and pork. You can eat fish, but only eat smash fish is what the new term I heard. So like the fresh fish, the stuff that doesn't have, not farm raised, because they feed their fish garbage and then they dye the fish to make it look like it's wild. So wild caught fish. And the smaller the fish, there's less chances of having the mercury in it. I don't eat any seafood, so I don't worry about that part. But if you like seafood, you can do that. And apparently shrimp and lobster and crabs or stuff. So you got a big selection. Now, I limit my dairy, and you should too, but I do have dairy intake. And for the dairy, I'm very particular on that, because for dairy, I'm more concerned about getting what they call fatty 15 in me. Fatty 15 is a new amino acid that they found when they were studying dolphins, and another doctor who was studying the fatty liver epidemic that's going on with children nowadays, where children are getting fatty liver because of the standard American diet, all this garbage that they're eating, and all these seed oils. So you do that as pecorino, I believe. It's goat cheese from the mountains in Italy. The high altitude actually makes it more abundant in this cheese, and it's all natural cheese. It's not cut with anti-mold agents and stuff like that. Be careful of the cheese you buy in the thing. Most of it's fake. So yeah, I only get like natural, organic. I drink my coffee still. I know that's also not carnivore, but hey, I'm not giving up my coffee. Thank you very much. So I only drink pretty much water. I do drink also with my meals, or right before my meals, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in water, and drink that with 2 drops of iodine. And I have my organic. You got to make sure it's organic, because the stuff they're putting in creamers and milks nowadays is ridiculous. All the junk they're putting in there. So organic, half and half creamer. That's also very high in fatty 15. I used to eat some other cheese like mozzarella and provolone, but I couldn't find any like real organic stuff, so I pretty much cut that out. And how easy is that? I mean, here's my day in and day out. Some people can't do it because they say it's too boring. And like I said, I don't like to eat, so I eat like 4 or 5 eggs, sometimes scrambled eggs, lightly scrambled, so it's still a little runny, with the yolk, right? And then I'll have maybe, if I have the beef patties, I'll have maybe 1 or 2 beef patties with it, depending on if I'm eating OMAD 1 meal a day or if I'm eating 2 meals a day. Now, I don't eat more than 2 meals a day. You shouldn't either. Don't eat past 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, depending on what you can handle. Oh, there's a blimp going by the pond, over the pond. Let's see if I can show you guys that. Let me walk over here. You can see it in the sky here. I'm trying to get a clearer image. So if you, that leads me into the next thing. Can you see it? Where'd he go? Oh, missed it. There it is. Where is it? Where is it? Little bugger? Hiding behind that tree. All right, so 1 meal a day, OMAD, and then at the most 2 meals a day. All right, let's see. There it is. Can you see it? Oh, might be able to zoom in. That's some big old blimp. It looks far away. All bad for that. But that leads me into the second thing you can do. And this will help you shed pounds and get rid of, burn all those bad cells up, the dead cells, and autophagy will take place, and that's intermediate fasting. But start slow. If you're a woman, there's different fasting protocols for women. I don't know them. I can speak to a man's protocols. Start slow. It's very easy to do a 12-hour fast, because you stop eating at night, and then you eat in the morning. And that's an easy 12 hours you can do on that. Then as you get those for the first weekend, then you start stretching it out to 14 and 16, then an 18-hour fast. Then after a couple of weeks of that, you can bump it up to a 20 or 24-hour fast. You do those maybe 2 weeks, then you can jump up to a 36-hour fast. That's where, like, I stop eating on Sunday night, say it's 6 o'clock, and then I don't eat again until 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So the 24 hours would be 6 p.m. Sunday is when it starts. 24 hours would be 6 p.m. Monday. That's a 24-hour period. It goes by, it flies by. 36 is just another 12 hours on that, so 6 in the morning. Then you can easily bump that 36 up to 40, 42, and then you do a 48-hour. I completed my first 48-hour. That was actually not as bad as I thought it would be, or hard, let's say that. And all this time you can drink apple cider vinegar to help fill you up, black coffee. I'm not a fan of black coffee by itself, but I've done that. But I try to eliminate drinking black coffee now when I'm fasting, unless it's in the around noon or the early morning, so it can help me. I'm not messing up my sleep. Then you can work into a 72-hour. I'm working into a 72-hour. The stuff that goes on with your body on healing itself with the 24-hour, the 36-hour, and the 72-hour is just amazing. 72 hours, your body actually creates new stem cells. The 48-hour, you're eating up your zombie cells. Yes, your body has zombie cells. Cells that are basically dead and still like doing nothing, but just affecting all your other cells and stuff. So the fasting, intermediate fasting. You drink water, you drink the apple cider vinegar, and things, and you just keep yourself busy. And that leads into the third tip on how to just shed the pounds off within a healthy but fast period of time. And the third thing is start walking. It's that easy. I could barely do 5 minutes walking on the treadmill. I bumped it up each time little by little. I bumped it up to 12, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And then I started bumping it up to 15, 20. And then I bumped it up to 30 minutes, then 45 minutes. And then I introduced 2 45-minute walks in the day. And then I bumped it up to 1 65-minute, and then 1 45, then 2 60 minutes walks, right? As you see here, me walking up and down my driveway here on the property. Nothing special. And we got a treadmill thing on Facebook Marketplace for $50. So when it's too late or something, and I'm not able to walk outside, I walk for an hour on the treadmill. Now, my speed, since I walk with a cane, I started off, I could barely do 1 mile an hour. Then it went up to 1.2, then 1.4. I'm walking like this on even ground because I have a fused ankle to my heel bone. I got 2 metal rods in there. That's why I'm limping as I walk. I have no more lateral movement in my left foot, just up and down, no side to side. So it can get pretty painful for me walking, so I got to watch where I'm walking. Don't recommend getting your foot fused or anything fused in your body. Please don't do it. You got to do your research and everything. I wish I didn't do it. So anyway, I'm just walking. So I'm doing that. If I'm not out here walking, I'm walking in the parking lot. When I take my daughter to swim classes, her swimming team and stuff, I'll walk. And then now I just started joining a gym, at the gym where she goes to do her swimming at. And so I'm doing some push-ups and I'm doing pull-ups. The push-ups I've been doing home. I did start doing some more leg lifts. I tried to do a leg lift, airborne leg lift program similar to the Evil Russian push-up program, but I didn't do that. That's one thing I'm still working on, because I need to get down to 10% in just about 5 weeks now, or 6 weeks. So I wanted to step up my butterfly kicks and my now I have a fractured and tailbone that didn't set right, so that causes me a lot of pain, so it's hard for me to lay down. Plus my back doesn't like laying on hard surfaces. It takes a while to settle in, but my lower back and everything is very painful. So I tried different ways of doing these butterfly kicks. So, but walking, before I started this other stuff, I still dropped 40 pounds easy. One time I was 257 pounds. That was my heaviest. But I'm not counting that. I'm counting the time in October when I weighed myself at 240 pounds. And then I started a carnivore diet. All right. So these 3 things, they are very easy to do. Almost everybody can do. I could barely walk when I started this back in October. Like I said, I was using for the longest time. Hold on.